Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very 11th episode of Cool Down Timer. I am one of your hosts, Neefu, and with me today I am joined by Zingles Artman.
This is terrible radio.
That it is, Z.A.M. That it is.
So, what's going on?
Well, New Year's is coming up.
Woo! You know what that means?
New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever actually had a New Year's resolution?
I think I did once, but it was a really stupid resolution that was meant as like a satirical jab at New Year's resolutions.
Of course you did. Of course you had a satirical jab at New Year's resolutions. I've never had one.
I think I had one where I was sort of attempting to be serious, but not really, but it was to floss more.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, I need to floss more. I have trouble flossing. So my dentist the other day, I went and got my teeth cleaned, and he was like, "So have you been flossing?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, if I wasn't a dentist and had my wife reminding me all the time, I probably wouldn't floss all that much. It's like, thank you for acknowledging.
Oh my gosh. Dentists are awesome. I had this dentist.
New Year's dentists.
I had this dentist who was going to be celebrating the new year, so I mean, it's still connected. Loosely. Okay. Yeah, I had this dentist who, I was younger, so my dad was with me, and his assistant was with him. And he was kind of, checking out my teeth, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you have this," insert random dentist techno blabble here. He's like, "You have this weird tooth thing," and I guess I have this tooth where the top of my teeth looks like a rose. Yeah, and he was like, "You have it on both sides." And he had this look of wonder on his face. And it was great. It was like out of a movie. Because me, sitting on the table, my dad and his assistant all stared at him like he was crazy.
Nah.
And he kind of looks around. He's like, "Well, I'm a tooth guy. It's awesome for me." He just walks away. It was wonderful.
Yeah. But other than... for a while I had a tradition that somewhere between Christmas and New Year's, I would finish a game of some sort. That started with Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I was like, I'm gonna finish this game finally. And then with the whole Steam sales, I've been every year I've had a good handful of games around Christmas to play. But other than that, I haven't really thought of any resolutions. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you have any resolutions that you have had in the past or that you have for this coming year?
Not really, honestly. I'm boring.
You're boring?
Yeah.
Well, let's
terrible
take a
radio.
moment.
I don't know why you guys listen to us.
So let's take a moment to reflect back over this last year. Let's think about some of the best memories we had and some of the worst memories.
I had a great year.
You had a great year?
Yeah, I got freaking engaged.
Yeah.
We started a podcast.
We did start a podcast.
I've done a lot more art this year. I worked more than I've ever worked before.
Yeah. I graduated from college.
And that's the other thing. You moved back.
I moved back, which
I actually get to see you
depending upon who you are looking at it, me moving back may or may not be a good thing. I think it's a kind of cool thing because I moved back with my dad to help him because he is disabled right now because of some health issues from work, and so I've been helping him out. But it gives me the opportunity to do part-time work for him, but also do some Neefu production stuff. So this podcast, some of my writing, some of my stuff on the YouTube channel, things like that. And the fact that I have that opportunity, regardless of how many people are actually participating at this point in enjoying and consuming my media, it's wonderful that after all these years, I'm finally actually doing this.
Yeah. No, it's really good. Like I said, I've had a great year being able to draw a lot more. I had some very bad financial issues last year. Early this year, I had a family who randomly decided to buy me a computer.
Not your family, though.
No.
A different family.
A different family. Who was just like, "We want to bless you. We're going to get you a computer." And they were like, "Well, we're just going to go grab this Dell." And I'm like, "Well, that's great. And I would totally appreciate that. However, if you would be willing to get me parts, I could build my own computer, and it would be a better computer for less money." And so they did, and I got a pretty nice base computer.
It's a pretty nice lady.
It does the job, considering I bought nothing.
No, you
I bought the graphics card, because it was a work computer for me. And so I bought the graphics card saying, I'm going to be playing games on this, but they're not buying it for me to play games. So I did buy the graphics card separately.
Yeah, no.
But that did allow me to put a lot more money into the graphics card.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah, so I do have a good graphics card.
It barely fit in the case.
Yeah, no, it didn't fit in the case because we didn't think about getting the biggest case size. So it's like the one down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like one down.
And so it didn't fit. So I've not built I've never really built a computer. That's not my thing. So I had to unscrew the box that held the hard drives, and it's in crooked, which is probably terrible, so that the graphics card can fit in there. Because I was like, I'm not taking this graphics card back. What was your favorite movie of the year?
Favorite movie of the year. Okay, so let's see. What movies that have come out this year have I seen? I saw it Before Midnight. I saw Man of Steel. I don't need to pull up a list.
Man of Steel was surprisingly good.
I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of the direction that they took the series in, the lack of fun. I was okay with the lack of fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a really solid job at making a good superhero movie.
And supposedly, I mean, by the time this actually comes out, they may have clarified this, but supposedly Wonder Woman's going to be in Batman vs. Superman. Yeah.
You know what? At this point, I do have enough faith in them, though.
I'm
cautious.
Justice League.
You know, I have a big soft spot for the Justice League.
Oh, and I can appreciate that and understand that, but if you're just
you know what though? They've not steered us wrong lately.
Green Lantern.
Don't even bring it up. It's so painful. Since then, you never know.
John Dies at the End came out the beginning of this year. Wow, this year
really?
is a long year. I guess it's about the same length as most other years.
And that's already on Netflix. Did
I tell you that one of my friends was, as I'm scrolling through this list, one of my friends was actually in 21 and Over. He was an extra in the back of one of the scenes where they're at like a bar, so you can see it in like the trailer. You can see like the bottom half of his head.
Oh, really? Did you see that?
No.
It looked like poop.
No, it doesn't. It didn't seem like a type of movie that I would enjoy.
I don't know. Like for both of us, I know that we've never been involved in the party scene. Like never. And so that's really not a movie that we would be interested in. And it just did not look interesting to me.
And I'm sure if you enjoyed it and you liked it and that's your type of thing, I'm
well, then you're wrong.
Wow, I'm scrolling through this list and I haven't seen any movies that I've seen yet, and I'm in. Oh, okay. Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 was the first movie that I watched in theaters this year, and I enjoyed.
That was like what, June, July,
April.
I
really enjoyed the stuff they did with Tony Stark in that movie, but I despised the Extremis stuff. I hated it.
I agree.
I disliked it walking out of it, but the more I thought about it, I just really did not like it. I felt that yes, I acknowledge that there were aliens in the Avengers, and this is a post-Avengers movie, but.
It was still a solid movie, though.
I hated the Extremis stuff.
I agree. Though, I gotta say, the stuff with all the different suits, that was a concept artist's dream come true. I saw those suits, and I was seeing so many different personalities and stuff coming through those suits, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would have loved to be involved with this.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
That was really good.
I enjoyed that.
I love how big, what's his name? Bad guy in that movie.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I love how big he's getting. Like,
oh yeah.
He's gotten a lot of big roles lately. He's got a good voice.
He does have a good voice.
He does. I'm very excited to see the Desolation of Smaug.
Smaug.
It's kind of a thing we've been doing lately.
Before Midnight. So Before Midnight was phenomenal, but I mean you gotta see Before Sunrise and Before Sunset, and you actually have to have enjoyed Before Sunrise and Before Sunset.
Or you'll hate it.
Or you will despise it. It was really, really, really raw, the way that they did the writing and the characters. It was delicious. Epic.
I didn't see that.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, to me it looked like what was that movie? I can't believe I can't remember the name.
Fern Gully?
Yeah, it looked like Fern Gully, and I was like, I don't want to watch. I hated Fern Gully.
It wasn't like that. I mean, yeah, it had some of like Fern Gully-esque, corruption and disease and whatnot, but Okay, so you actually had the plot with the girl and the cute guy.
Right.
That's the tiny guy, and they're gonna go try to save the world. But there was an underlying story involving this leader figure who was in love with the queen lady, and she spoiler alert, she dies at the beginning of the movie. And so it's about him trying to deal with her death.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
The theme of like death and disease is really prevalent through the movie. Like there's this little dog that's like crazy cute, but he's got like 3 legs and 1 eye. Something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's got some surprisingly like dark and surprisingly frank discussion about pain, loss, death, and disease.
Wow, that's interesting.
I would say that it is definitely worth watching.
Oh, Now You See Me was pretty good.
I didn't see it.
There wasn't a lot. It was a plot movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like plot, you would enjoy it. And it was very thriller-esque, oh, what's going to happen, big twists and stuff like that. I just watched it recently. It was actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like my top movie of the year or anything like that, but it was definitely enjoyable.
Despicable Me 2.
Didn't see it, but I heard it was really good.
I hated it.
Really?
But then again, I also saw it in a drive-in movie theater, and we had Despicable Me 2 and Lone Ranger were playing.
I wanted to watch Lone Ranger, though I knew I would probably hate it.
It was atrocious too. And the thing about that was the actress who plays the main female character in that movie. She played this character that was like basically just a damsel in distress. Oh. But the thing is, the only other thing I've seen her in, she plays this very strong, very interesting character, and it was just like very difficult seeing Alice from Luther playing a damsel in distress, because Alice and Luther wouldn't take any of this from anybody, and all of them would be dead.
Right.
We got Monsters University.
That was pretty good.
I liked it a lot more than
I haven't seen Dark World yet.
Dark World. Oh, Thor 2. I've heard it's better than the first one, but that's not saying much.
That is saying nothing.
Was utter crap.
Gravity.
Oh, Gravity.
Gravity was an amazing movie. If you missed it in 3D in theaters, I am very sorry.
Yeah, in 3D it was wonderful.
That was one of the, I think that was one of the best made movies I've seen in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, that was just, I mean, it had its problems that, like, as far as, like, I can see why other people wouldn't like it, per se.
Yeah. No, and I one of my friends who I saw it with hated the character that Sandra Bullock played.
Like, oh, really?
Despised the character, and that made him dislike the movie, because you're with her the entire time.
I didn't hate the character. I thought it was actually a pretty uplifting story, which was surprising, because I was definitely expecting a depressing, boring, character-driven but boring movie, and it was action-packed, uplifting. It was the complete opposite of what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that.
My fiance, she really hated it, but she cannot. She's like, I really hated it, but it was a great movie. And I mean, you really, there's a point where you can't see anything about it. It was really well made.
Yeah, no, I felt, I think we felt that way walking out of Argo. Like, we hated the movie, but we, like, it was well done.
I really enjoyed Gravity.
It was just not our thing. World War Z, I did not see that, but I know you did.
I've heard really mixed reviews on World War Z, and yeah, I did see it. I actually liked it.
Okay.
It was not a zombie movie, though.
Yeah.
It was an adventure movie. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really what it was. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of movies like that in a long time. I mean, he travels and goes to all these different places and stuff, and I liked it, though. It was good.
Let's see. White House Down.
Didn't see that.
I saw that the other day.
Oh, really?
It is a fun movie. It is stupid. It is dumb. It will lower your IQ about 20 points.
That bad?
But it is really, really fun.
I also watched Warm Bodies recently. That was a lot of fun. It was actually way better than I was expecting. What were you expecting? Well, I kind of clumped it in with, this is kind of unfair to the movie, but I clumped it in with Twilight and Hunger Games. One
of my friends, she either knows the author or she knows someone who knows the author, because they live up in Anacortes, where the book that Warm Bodies is based off of. Just little.
There was some great moments in the beginning, especially in the beginning of that movie, where like he's just being a zombie, and then like he's got this internal monologue, and he's talking, and like he's normal. He's just like, well, I gotta eat this guy now, and like it was just really funny to me, and I really think Mr. H would love that movie because he loves intelligent zombies.
Yeah.
It was also fun seeing the Romeo and Juliet references.
Pacific Rim. Which
well,
we talked about
Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim was fun.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, I love Pacific Rim. Turbo.
Didn't see that. That was like poop.
You watched R.I.P.D. recently.
It was exactly what I was expecting. It was a terrible movie, but because I knew what I was expecting, I enjoyed it. Terrible movie, but a lot of fun.
The Wolverine. I did not see that. I'm intending to, but I've not seen it.
I liked it. I think that's one of those movies that they did try to connect a little bit with the comics, from what I can tell, as far as like some of his actual backstory and stuff. I don't really have a connection to Wolverine, so I didn't get the full thing out of that. But it was pretty good.
Elysium. You said you did not like Elysium. Okay,
Elysium had some great moments. It had some great ideas, but it was an idea movie. There wasn't a lot of character development. There wasn't a lot of plot, really, when it comes down to it. But it was still a very enjoyable movie, as long as you know what you're getting yourself into.
Do you see Ender's Game?
Not yet.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There were a few points that, as someone who has not read the book, just felt funky and off. But other than that, I really.
I feel terrible.
It.
I hate movies about teenagers. So I've been kind of my fiance really wants to watch it, but I've been kind of putting her off on it. But I'll probably go watch that.
It was worth watching, especially the ending was really interesting.
Oh, that's always good.
Catching Fire. I greatly enjoyed Catching Fire.
I read all of the Hunger Games books. I hated the first movie, and I will not watch the second one.
The second one was significantly better than the first one. They did a lot more like delving into her character and how she responded and reacted internally to the
Here's my thing though, is that the books got steadily worse. If the movies get steadily better based on steadily worse books, where are they going?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, I hated the later books. I really enjoyed the first one. I think the first one should have been a standalone book. Like, personally.
Well, I can understand that in the sense of, like, there was a lot of stuff that I did not like. A lot of the stuff they went to in the third book, but because I actually read these books for once,
right?
But I don't know. There was a lot of stuff that you could not have put into that first one that.
But I don't know. I don't feel like it really needed it. Like, we didn't need to know about this whole rebellion and everything.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that was important, but just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just because I just watched the movie and I remember specifically that they dealt so well with like her reaction to it and how she was dealing with it, dealing with having had to go through that is just standing out in my mind.
Right.
So we've kind of gone through all the major movies that we've seen. Which movie would you say, out of the ones that you've seen, movie of the year?
Jeez, I'm probably Gravity.
Okay.
Probably.
I think I would have to go with Before Midnight. It was.
I haven't seen that yet.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. What was your second?
Second, maybe Gravity at that point.
Gravity was such a well-made movie.
But I would definitely recommend.
I love George Clooney in that movie. He was so funny. Like, he had like such a
beginning, and he's just like, wee.
I know, right?
Jetpack.
Oh, that was a great movie.
No, Gravity was really good.
I do not envy the filmmakers. I feel like that would have been...
Oh, I recently read an article about how they did that.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the butt.
Well,
and Sandra Bullock would rather just stay in the suit that they had her in all day, and it basically was just this box, because all they filmed was her face.
Right.
Because, like, the rest of her body was all CG. And so she would just sit in this box, which they had to light properly.
Right.
All day long, and she was crazy lonely because she could see everybody else outside just doing all their stuff, and she was just like, I'm alone in a box.
That's terrifying. See, I didn't actually... CGI was so good, I didn't know that it was a CGI body.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense now that I think about it.
In some of the stuff where you actually see her body.
Well, right. But like in the suit. But that does make sense though now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Great movie though.
Oh, yeah.
A great movie.
And then I really, really enjoyed Pacific Rim, and Epic. I think those
Didn't see
four
Epic.
would be my favorite that I saw. But again, we missed out on like 12 Years a Slave and whatnot.
Right.
Which is supposedly like crazy Oscar bait. Like,
oh, really?
That is like...
It sounds like Oscar bait.
That is a movie that's supposedly absolutely amazing.
Well, that got away from us fast. New Year's resolution, movies.
Yeah. We could talk about best games of the year. But then again, I know you have...
I don't really know, because I tend to play Steam sale games.
Yeah.
X and Y. That's like the only thing I've played.
Ooh, okay, so we got Infinite. We've got The Last of Us.
Infinite.
We've got Gone Home. Jeez, there's some good
Infinite
ones.
was one of the best games I've ever played.
Bioshock Infinite, obviously.
Bioshock Infinite, yeah. That... man, they use so much character development in that game.
Yeah, no, I struggled with some of the way that they presented stuff earlier in the early chunk of the game. And I mean, it's very, very back heavy, narrative wise. But I enjoyed it. I did not like the combat, but did I tell you about the quote that he said?
Quote, like, that was great.
Where he was basically talking like, this is a game built in genre tradition in the same way that in a musical, it doesn't make sense why everybody just starts jumping around and dancing and singing, but you accept it, and that's the way that this genre works. And so he was saying, like, yeah, this is the way that the shooter genre traditionally works. There's not necessarily, like, a whole bunch of reason for everybody just starting to shoot each other, but
that's the way it works.
It's the way that it has traditionally gone. And I mean, like, I heard that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, and that really...
Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense.
That really helped for me, because I think that you told me that while I was playing it. And I was having a really hard time with the fighting. I was like, it doesn't fit. You know, it doesn't fit. But when you told me that, I was like, I can totally accept that answer. And then I enjoyed the rest of the game.
It was just like, yeah, you hear that? It's like, that is all I needed to hear.
All right, I might not agree with it necessarily. Like, it's not my thing. But I can totally buy that answer.
Let's see what else. So The Last of Us.
I haven't played that. That looks so good.
It was great. It was nice and moody and dark and contemplative and all that stuff. The combat was actually really fun. It was like this really vicious kind of raw combat. There was just like this rhythm and flow to it that I actually hadn't... This is going to sound like a really weird thing, but The Last of Us had one of the best control schemes in a video game I have ever...
How do you mean, like...
it was just so fluid.
You mean control of, like, your...
The way that the buttons and the menus were laid out...
Oh, that kind of control, okay.
It was just... It made...
Well, that's really rare for a console game. To me, okay, I'm a major PC gamer. I do not play console games.
Controls are usually one of those things that, like, you, when you don't acknowledge it and when you don't recognize it, it's a good thing. Right. But it was just like, I had been playing and I just started actively thinking about the way that they had some of the stuff organized. It was just, this is fantastic. Like, the menu system, like the crafting system. You would I
didn't even know there was a crafting system.
It's a minor detail, but it's really important. So you would, like, select the thing that you'd be like flipping through your menu with the D-pad to like get to the item that you wanted, and then if you wanted to craft it, you just pushed one more button and it would automatically craft it for you from the menu that you would use to equip it. It was just, why has nobody ever thought of this before?
Right,
it's like so much sense.
Well, that's nice.
Let's see, I'm flipping through a list of some games.
It's gonna be a holiday tradition.
Antechamber, you despised that.
I hated Antechamber.
I loved that game.
That game made me so dizzy.
I enjoyed it so much. It was one of those ones that like broke my brain, and I enjoyed it.
I don't like having things on me broken or in me, specifically my brain.
SimCity and Tomb Raider.
I didn't finish Tomb Raider. I liked Tomb Raider.
I played about a half an hour of it, and no. I played about 2 or 3 hours of it and just hated it. But I think we've already talked about this on the show.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about Tomb Raider. We did not talk about SimCity.
I like SimCity.
I enjoyed SimCity, but then again, we've never
played any of the other SimCities.
Well, we also started playing this SimCity like 4 or 5 months after it came out, so we didn't deal with any of the launch issues. As well, we are not crazy like this kind of game nerds, so like a lot of the things that bug huge SimCity fans, we didn't really care about.
No, that's that Mr. H is a big Sims. I think he like SimCity 2000 or something like that.
Yeah.
He really likes him, but I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I thought it had some fun systems, and like once you really start to figure things out in it, like my last city that we made together.
My last city was atrocious.
My last city was wonderful. I was making so much money. No traffic, no crime.
Rise of the Hutt Cartel for Old Republic came out this year.
Oh, that was wonderful. I didn't...
Yeah, Blood Dragon came out.
Blood Dragon?
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon came out this year.
I wasn't a huge fan.
Of Blood Dragon?
No.
Well, you had to get to, like... I don't know, the ending... The last, like, mission was just, like, crazy. That was my... I want stupid killing, and I want to play now, and... That kind of game.
For me, I feel like if I wanted stupid killing, I'd go play like Fallout 3.
That's not a stupid killing game.
There's lots of stupid killing in that game.
Yeah, there's...
Everyone in that game hates you.
Monaco.
Monaco was so much fun!
We never actually finished that game.
No, we need to, but like, I really like the gameplay. Like, well, not the gameplay, I guess, but like, I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
There's something about it that is very, very nice.
Yeah, no, it was wonderfully chaotic and stupid. And
I love playing the cleaner.
Of course, Gone Home. If you can't have a mention of the games that came out this year without thinking of indie darling Gone Home.
And I haven't played that.
It's about 2 hours long. You play this girl who
went home.
Yeah, no, she had been in Europe for a while, and she returns home, and her house is empty. And you basically walk around the house, exploring and trying to piece together the pieces of what had gone on, all while hearing journal entries from your younger sister, kind of giving you a little more backstory about what's going on. It was great.
What's the gameplay like?
Walking around a house and looking at stuff.
See, I don't know. I wouldn't like that.
That's because you like more traditional games. You don't.
I like a balance because I do like good gameplay. I have trouble just playing a game where you do nothing.
It's not doing nothing though.
It's listening.
There's some listening, yes. There's a lot of reading, and there's a couple puzzles. And...
No.
You make me sad because that is one of the greatest games that came out.
Like, I don't know. Like for me. There's got to be a good balance because I am picky about the story. Like I feel like there's got to be a good story or character. You know, there's got to be something else to it.
Character and
I
story.
don't like just pure running around and killing. I don't like that. But there's got to be something else to it too. And but I also don't like I don't like any of the extremes. I'm kind of in the middle there.
We don't have consoles, so we missed out on like
all of the games.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
I'm actually super excited for GTA 5. I hope that comes to PC soon.
I'm sure it will. X and Y.
I've been playing X, and it is probably my favorite Pokemon game so far. I'm not in my like super Pokemon mood, so I'm not super far into it, but it's been really good so far, and like I really I'm very happy that they're taking a step forward. Yeah. Several steps forward. Yeah. And also, one thing, there's a lot of theories behind the name X and Y. There's some really weird ones. But like my favorite theory, and I think also the most logical theory, is that X and Y, the different planes in a 3D dimension.
Oh, yeah. Because it's the first 3D one.
Yeah, and it's the first 3D one. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So I really like that they're making some steps towards a newer style and more, a newer way of doing the game. And they're actually trying to catch up with the times.
Yeah. The Wolf Among Us.
Haven't played it yet.
You're missing out on one of the greatest, like, story-driven games
You know what, though? Like, I'm not a huge fan, like...
I've only played the first episode at this point, but the first episode was fantastic.
The reason I haven't played Walking Dead is because this is not my style.
You're missing out on a really good story game.
Am I missing out on a game that you love?
Yep. It's true.
Yeah. No, that's about it.
And The Walking Dead was basically last year, it was either Journey or The Walking Dead won all the Game of the Year awards.
Oh, really?
Yes. It was either awesome. Journey or it was The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Walking Dead, there's no gameplay.
There's gameplay.
The gameplay is clicking buttons every 5 minutes.
That's still gameplay.
The gameplay sucks.
It's okay.
No.
But the story's worth it.
The gameplay sucks. The story might be amazing. The gameplay sucks. Dishonored had good gameplay.
Dishonored was last year.
Yeah, but it had great gameplay.
It was still last year.
What came out this year that had good gameplay?
Gameplay, I don't know. I what I enjoy most about video games as a medium has to do with the interactive storytelling and the...
It's so funny. Because, like, I'm actually very different from you. I enjoy the world and the gameplay more.
Yeah, no, I mean, but then again, I'm the story guide, you're the artist, so...
Yeah, there you go. But, I know this is going back several years, but Fallout 3 had a wonderful world. And, like, I've been kind of getting in this mood again where I want to go play that again. It had such a wonderful world that you got to explore. And there wasn't a lot... It's not like they're saying, all right, you have to do this. There's all these things that you have to see. There's so many little hidden things that you can find in that world. And the creators put so much love into that world.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
And I really appreciate that. And then things like Dishonored, which had a great world and had a great gameplay. That was primarily gameplay for, I think, both of us.
So shifting away from the past, let's look forward a bit. What are you either looking forward to the most other than getting married?
Oh, dang it. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Or like looking forward to the most or wanting to do or things you want to change or whatever for the next year?
I don't know. What are you looking forward to?
I don't know if there's really anything I'm looking forward to, but one thing that I really want to do is try to, increase our listener base, and are the people who participate in the ground floor growing of Neefu Productions.
Right, right.
I want to expand the Neefu Productions brand. That's one goal I definitely have for in the next.
I'm excited to draw, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one of the things that I'm excited for is, like, just doing a lot more paintings and improving. And maybe going back to school if I can this year. That's kind of my goal for this year. Besides getting married.
It's a respectable goal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really one who gets incredibly excited about things.
We don't live too much in the future.
Yeah, tomorrow's in the future, and today is today, and 2 weeks from now doesn't exist.
Right.
But on that note, we hope you have a fantastic end of the year, and we hope you have a great next year, and that you will continue to share your years. I don't know how long we're going to do this show for, with us.
We really, really appreciate it, guys.
We appreciate it.
We enjoy doing it. We hope you enjoy listening.
We really hope you enjoy listening. And if you are kind of on the fence, if you think there's something that we can do differently, if there's something you enjoy and you want more of, let us know. Email us.
This is obviously our first podcast.
This is like so we
were like, we should do a podcast, and then like a week later we were recording a podcast.
Yep. We're learning on the fly. But email us at contactus@cooldowntimer.com. You can also send us messages to our YouTube page or our Facebook page, which are the respective websites / Cooldown Timer Podcast. We're also on Twitter, Cooldown Timer. I am Neefu. You can reach me at Straight Up Neefu at Twitter and Facebook. He is Zingles Artman. Zingles Artman at Facebook or Twitter.
I'm going to be trying to put up... I don't get on either of those much, but I'm going to be trying to get on and putting up some artwork and stuff soon, so you guys can get an idea of what I do.
Yep, so it's not just all talk and all bark and no bite. You can also watch my YouTube videos at youtube.com/Neefu. And with that, let's ring in the new year. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Woo!
Keep listening to Cooldown Timer, everybody. We love you.
Woo!
See you next year.
Happy New Year.